In this program, I shall show you, given the total number of days, how you can convert it into how many years, months and days. In order to do this or solve this particular problem, let us first understand the different variables or memory location we are going to use. Years will store the total number of years, month will store the total number of months, days will store the remaining days. So it could be 2 years, 6 months, 10 days, something like that. Number of days is a memory location or a variable which is used to store the total number of days. So let's assume the user enters the total number of days as 400. Before we completely solve this problem, a few assumptions are required. We are assuming that the number of days in every month is 30. Okay. Now, first step is I am asking the user enter the total number of days. Now, after the user enters the total number of days, I am saying the total number of days are this much. So let us say the user enters the total number of days as 400. Now what we can do is if I divide 400 by 365, the quotient will give me the number of years. So first step what I am doing is years is number of days divided by 365. 400 divided by 365, I am talking about integer division. I am not worried about the fractional part after the year. So 400 divided by 365 is 1. So the number of years now happens to be 1. Alright, number of years we have got. Now what I need to do is from 365, from 400, sorry, I need to minus 365 so that only the remaining days to calculate the month are left. So what I'm doing is when I say number of days mod 365, when I divide 400 by 365, the remainder happens to be 35. So the new value of number of days is 35. Now if I divide 35 by 30, integer division, I am going to get the number of months. So when I say 35 divided by 30, it is 1 point something. I'm only worried about before the decimal. So it is 1 year, 1 month so far. Now we are left with 5 days. So now if I say days is 35 mod 30, it will give me the remaining days. So remaining days is 5 days. So 400 days is equal to 1 year, 1 month and 5 days. Then I go about trying to print the output. Number of years it will print as 1, number of months as 1, number of days as 5. So on your own, enter different number of days, draw a table, do these calculations and try to get the value. Division gives you the quotient, mod gives you the remainder. So just be aware of that particular concept. Now we will do something along the same lines. Given the total number of seconds, we will try to convert into hours, minutes and seconds. So let us say somebody inputs the total number of seconds. We will try to go ahead and calculate the total number of hours, seconds and so on. Alright. So let's first take a look at or understand the concept as to what the problem is asking us. The problem is telling us the user is going to enter the total number of seconds. How many seconds are there in 1 hour? 3600 seconds. So if I divide the total number of seconds by 3600, I am going to get the number of hours. Alright. So using that particular logic, let us proceed ahead. As usual, we will draw columns to keep track of the variable. So the first will get us hours, next we'll calculate the minutes, finally the seconds. And this t seconds stands for total seconds or total secs variable in this particular case. Now let us say I ask the user enter the total number of seconds. Let us say the user enters 4000 as the number of seconds. When I say total seconds, 4000 divided by 3600, it is going to give me 1 hour. Okay, so 3600 it is 1 hour. Now I am left with 400 seconds. In order to get the 400 seconds, I take total seconds and do a modulus with 3600. So total seconds now becomes 400. Okay, so 4000 divided by 3600. Okay, the remainder happens to be 400. Now I can easily calculate how many minutes is 400. So if I take total seconds and I divide it by 60, okay, 6 6 are 36. So it has to be 6 minutes. I am left with 40 seconds. Now if I take seconds and do a modulus with 60, 400 mod 60, the remainder is 40. So 4000 seconds is equal to 1 hour, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. So I hope you take data like this and run through at each step. Programming is really, really simple. Do not try to mug up, because it is just impossible to mug up the volume of information you have. Learning is a lot more easier and you'll remember it forever. So you take total seconds, get the hours, then you eliminate 3600 from that. So you get the total seconds, which is 400. Then divided by 60 to get the minutes, mod 60 to get the seconds. And lastly, I go ahead and print the number of hours, minutes, and seconds. So here it is telling me 1 hour, 6 minutes, 40 seconds. So it will print hours is 1, minutes is 6, seconds is 40. And then it will come to a halt. Some of these programs I told you, which are for the practicals or your lab work, I'll be demoing it to you live. So that time I'll be explaining much more things. I'll show you how to correct errors, what errors come, how to eliminate them, and so on and so forth.